Hey guys, welcome to the episode 0 of the Little Legends podcast. I am the Blevins. With me is Boopasaurus. Welcome.
How's it going, man?
It's going well. We are here today recording this very first or pre-first episode 0. I
Pilot.
don't the pilot
It's the
episode.
pilot episode. We've
Yes.
already got a whole reel, man.
Yeah, we God, this is hour 7 of us recording this pilot. We're just starting.
We just got the intro, guys. This is already starting off really well.
It's
Hey, guys, it is.
Hey guys, it is. But if you have not gathered this already, we are a team fight tactics podcast, and we're going to be talking all things team fight tactics. And I wanted to take this time here to just talk a little bit about us, who we are, why you should maybe listen to us, click the subscribe button on iTunes, all that good stuff, and give you a little bit of an outline of what we're planning on doing, and then also talk about how we're very much open and ready to mold. Where this is the newborn child of a podcast that can grow into whatever we and also you as the listeners want it to.
It's nature versus nurture, but podcast edition, right?
Yes.
We got the idea, but we're ready for the world to take its beautiful hands and mold it like clay.
Yes. As you may have guessed from this intro and if you're watching the video version of this, the scuffed nature of this video, very much in pilot mode still. So the disclaimer at the top of this episode is that everything is subject to change. Probably not the name, but most everything else, including me as a host, are all subject to change. The game, we're going to keep it on team fight tactics. That's not gonna change. But yeah, so I just want to talk about what we're looking to do here. But let's start off and introduce ourselves a little bit first. Boop, why don't you start us off and just give folks a little bit of an idea of who you are, where you come from, and why in the world are you talking about team fight tactics?
I know, right? Because actually, it's funny because I'll start because Teamfight Tactics is not necessarily a game I think a lot of people would associate me and my personality with, because I'm pretty in your face with my glee and my optimism.
Who,
right?
you?
I know, right? A guy named Boopasaurus being happy? Who would have known? But no, so I got my start casting. So I'm a professional caster. I cast for Blizzard right now, but I got my start in card games. So I started with Hearthstone, and it's actually really interesting how this ended up with me in esports, because the way that I was able to become a caster was I bombed out of a Hearthstone tournament. I got eliminated in the first round, and one of the casters for that tournament didn't show up. And they were like, "Hey, does anyone in the audience want to cast?" And I was like,
"Is there a doctor in the house, or at least a caster?"
At the very least, a caster will suffice. And so I was volunteered to do it, and I got up there, and the guy liked it, and then I started casting Overwatch from there. And then now, when the TFT got released, because League of Legends has been my game of choice for like 10 years now, I started playing with Darius got released, if you guys all remember that. I was like, and then once TFT came out, I was like, man, I've been playing Dota Underlords, right? Is that Voldemort in this podcast, or can we say that?
I mean, until Riot signs a check and tells us that we can't by the contract, we can say whatever we want in this podcast.
So I was playing with Voldemort, and I was getting really, really into just the auto chest genre. And basically, I played my first game of Dota Underlords, and I was like, this is a good and bad thing, because I freaking loved this. I loved just the style, just buying things, right? It's like kind of like, it's just the way that I interacted with the game. I really loved doing it, and the fact that I could also watch things at the same time. Like I could put on a stream and play a game at the same time and not really have that be super affected. It was really fun. And then finally League of Legends said, hey, we're going to have TFT come out, and just the aesthetic of League is something I've always really liked. I like the characters in League of Legends a lot, and I was like, okay, let's go ahead and do this. And then I found out that I was pretty good at it, which I think definitely helps your interest as well. And I caught myself like looking up all the strategies and, telling myself, oh, I'd love to cast this one day. If there's ever a competition, I'd love to be involved. And it became something where I was seeking ways to become involved in TFT and the community just in general, rather than just playing it. And that's why I'm so excited to be here and talk about it, because I'm already quite passionate about it. I'm excited to see how this community grows along with this podcast.
Yeah, I mean, that's similar story for me, actually. I mean, we know each other through the Overwatch world. I've been podcasting about Overwatch for longer than Overwatch has been around. That is technically true. We started the podcast before the game was actually released. Back in November 2015 is when we recorded the first episode of High Noon Podcast. If you're familiar with High Noon Podcast and our slew of brother and sister shows, that's me. But yeah, so I started out playing really Magic the Gathering. I used to stream back in like 2012. If anyone remembers the streamer Stasis Gel 33 or Fatwall 33, that was me. Only 90s kids remember that though. But I was streaming that relatively successfully, and then also was casting local Magic the Gathering tournaments, PTQs, different qualifier events in the area. I casted a little bit of Hearthstone and had Hearthstone podcast as well before all the Overwatch stuff. So I've been in card games for many, many years, and Teamfight Tactics is kind of a card game. I think it's very analogous to like a deck builder card game like Ascension or
like Arena Draft in Hearthstone.
Or Arena Draft and Hearthstone, or like MTG drafting as well. So, and limited in those formats has always been my favorite thing. I also love deck building games. So when Auto Chess came out, I didn't look at it at first, but I'm like, well, it's one of those things where like if everybody, all of the like Hearthstone streamers and whatnot are playing this game, like just because they enjoy it and not be like, it's not even a game, it's a mod. It's like, well, when a mod gets really, really popular, there's usually something behind that, right? Because it's like people play Pudge Wars or whatever in Dota, like the Hook game, and like there's a bunch of like popular mods in those games. But like once you start seeing like Dog and Hafu and Amaz and like all these people streaming a game, it's like, yeah, there might be some legs behind this, and it's not just because they're getting paid or sponsored for it.
Well, it's kind of how like League and Dota even came to fruition.
Exactly.
Right? Those both started as mods too.
Exactly. So I started playing Dota Auto Chess the mod, really liked it, got into it. Obviously, it was clunky. Then the spinoff, the Drodo one, came out. I liked that. Played Underlords, was like, it's probably better than the Drodo one, but not by much. And it's like, oh, Underlords, it's just clunky. And then I saw the League of Legends one. It's like, I played League of Legends a long time ago. I think I started playing when Twitch came out. I think that was the hero that when I first started, like back in my day. We're like
four iterations of stealth ago.
Yeah, we're like 2 months difference in age, just in case anyone's actually wondering.
So you know.
Yeah, we're very similarly aged. But back in my day, I'm older, so I get to say this. I played. I got to play when release Xin Zhao. Like I remember complaining about that when it happened, and by complaining I mean I bought the skin pack and abused it for as long as I could. I played a lot of League of Legends, and then when Ranked came out, I just stopped because toxicity, et cetera, also college. But I stopped playing League for a long time, but I always like had a passing interest in it. I always like to tune into like the big esports events.
Always fun to watch.
I like playing MOBAs. Like I played Heroes of the Storm. I played League for a long time. Played Dota, just not currently, but I understand what's going on, at least at a high level. And I saw the League Auto Chess, and I'm like, they look like they are doing the best job. It's the most popular, and I've personally enjoyed it more so than the other variants. So here we are. I'm like, I want to do something with it. What have I done for many years? Podcasting. Okay, great. Let's start this up. So in that vein, you're now listening to the fruition of that, the Little Legends podcast here. And really, I mean, that's why we're doing it. We kind of want to just we're starting we're I don't know, taking a wide berth here, at least to start. We want to kind of go over. We're not necessarily focused in right now, and that's what we want to hear back from you. Seriously, we want to take your feedback as to what you want to hear, because right now we wrote a tentative notes list for an episode, and it's like, this might be 6 hours long.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on there.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you want to focus on, right? What is the audience, as opposed to like our main interest in something like this too. And the audience is necessary to tell us what kind of lane to stay in or even move into potentially as well.
Yeah. More of a, hey, we don't care about this. That's going to be interesting as well. But we want to talk about the news that's going on. Obviously, right now we're getting every 2 weeks we're getting a new patch or a sub patch, or we're getting a new patch every 2 weeks and like a B-side patch every other week.
Yeah, or so. Yeah.
Lot of actual changes to the game to talk about. We want to do that. We also want to talk about we're both in the like platinum level right now. I mean, I personally think we're both trending upwards. So we're not at Grandmaster yet, but we are also not complete noobs at the game. So we want to provide some amount of actual like analysis of the game, talk about that as well, and really just kind of give our opinions and thoughts on that, as well as spotlight the community. We have some people in the community we've reached out to. We are hoping to get some guests on the show.
Got some initial interest, which is fun.
We got some stuff that can't be announced yet, but hopefully we'll soon be able to announce that. Actually, by the time you hear this, the announcement may have happened. We'll leave that for when it comes. But really, right now we just want to talk all things Teamfight Tactics right now. It's the belle of the ball right now. It's the hot button topic. It's the new thing, and it's really exciting. And for the first time in a while, I'm actually extremely excited about a game, and I've had a lot of fun playing the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I echo your sentiment, actually. Like, it's the first time in a while that like I could go into a game and just have a ton of fun, right? Like no sweat kind of fun, because one of the best parts about TFT, in my opinion, is like if you choose to troll, right, you're only affecting yourself. Right there, like the fact that it's an individual game and you can kind of make that experience yourself is really interesting and part of the fun for me.
Yeah, it's a very personal game. It's also, I mean, selfishly, I'm thinking it's a very good stream game. Like, it's a good game to stream. It's like Hearthstone was also a really good stream game. I had my stint. I've had multiple separated stints of streaming Hearthstone as well. It's a good game to just stream, be able to interact with chat and whatnot. So it's checking a lot of boxes for me, from an actual play perspective. That even something like Overwatch today, for me, it's like I love Overwatch, I love Overwatch League, but my passion has been covering and analyzing the Overwatch League as a league more so than actually playing the game, for me personally. So.
Well, and I think that's good in terms of the evolution of esports, right? Like, if we want this to all grow, we can't all be players, right? It's just nice that when we talk about TFT, that we also get to have that kind of perspective as well, without the other like job things kind of coming in, right? Because both of us work in the Overwatch space as well, and so I'm sure when we both play TFT, it's just like kind of like it's nice to take a deep breath sometimes, right? And sometimes you need to take space from the things you love.
It's nice to take a deep breath. A very deep breath before I scream because I didn't get that kale that I need to complete my nobles comp.
Or when every time you re-roll, you're like, kale. Every time you click, kale. Nope. But I did pass like 18 poppies.
Yeah.
So...
Oh man, I've had to roll for poppies as well, but I don't really want to get into too much content actually for this episode. Again, this is the pilot. We're just talking about who we are and whatnot. We're going to, for episode 1, we're going to be talking about patch notes and news that's coming up. We are hopefully going to have a guest that I think you guys are going to be pretty excited about. I know I am. But again, nothing confirmed yet. Not going to get into the details of that. They will be out as soon as possible. But I do want to, before we close out the show, just give you some of the places that you can find us. You can find the show. All the links will be in the description below. So if you're watching this on YouTube, they will be down there. If you're on iTunes, I have no idea how iTunes works. I just know it's awful, but I'll say them verbally so that if you can't find, I'm going to post them all in the description, whether they show up on your phone or whatever. That's out of my hands. That's in Apple's hands. But you can find the show on Twitter. We are at LittleLegendsPodcast. I know I had to creatively craft it so that it wasn't gone and it was only 15. So that's LIL Legends Pod. POD on Twitter. Go follow that. All the news is going to be on there. Soon TM, we should be on iTunes, YouTube, Spotify. Once this episode goes up and iTunes accepts our feed, we should be up on all of the podcast platforms. We should be up on YouTube. I'm going to, at least for now, will be probably live streaming the shows on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/theblevins. Again, all of this might change or shift over to something else, but at least for now, that's where that is. Boop, where can people find you on the internet?
At Booposaurus Rex. Everything I'm at is on Twitter. I've got a couple shows with UGC as well, so occasionally I'll be on twitch.tv/UGC, and I'm sure we gotta get on Mixer too, man. Right, especially with the new man.
Well, here's the thing.
Speaking of bells of the ball, Blevins.
Ninja leaving Twitch means that I can now be the #1 Blevins on Twitch. So I'm.
Oh, that's right.
I'm just saying.
I never thought of that.
It's true. Ninja was stealing all my glory, being my third cousin, stealing all my Blevins glory.
Classic. What a classic third.
His name is Tyler Blevins. Yeah. I'm just a second-rate Blevins, but now I don't know. We'll see. We'll see about Mixer. I don't know. I'm not sold on Mixer yet.
I've set up a couple things. I'm going to start streaming this game as well, and that'll be on Booposaurus 1. Funny story, I'm actually Booposaurus. I don't remember any of the security questions or anything I need to get it back, so I just went ahead and made Booposaurus 1. So it'd be twitch.tv/Booposaurus1 once that goes live. Hopefully by next week.
I have definitely done that before. If you want to follow me specifically, I have a TFT specific Twitter that's at League of Blev. I'm also at _Blevins for mostly my Overwatch and non-TFT stuff. I don't really know why I have two of them, but I do. So you can follow either one. Oh, and you can either tweet at us if you have suggestions, questions, comments, whatever, but you can also email us at LittleLegendsPodcast@gmail.com. That's going to be the best place if you have questions or comments, anything like that. Send us an email. If we get enough questions for the show, like if strategy questions or something, we might read it out on the show as well. So definitely email LittleLegendsPodcast@gmail.com. But that's all I had. Boop, anything else before we end this amazing, immaculate pilot episode?
Some say perfect. Right? But no, I think that's good. I'm really excited to be here. One with you, buddy. I'm so excited to be in partnership with _Blevins.
Yes, it's the #1 Blevins on Twitch. That's the
#1 Blevins on the Twitch. You can take that and run with it, and I'm just along for the ride, man. I'll be right on your coattails. I'm so excited to be here.
No, we are both. We're going to devise some sort of contraption where we're both like crossing the coattails and riding on each other's coat. It's kind of like the Lorax, like flying by the seat. I don't know. It's going to happen. We're going to do it together. It's going to be great. We want all the input and whatnot from you guys, the listeners. And I have no idea how we're going to end this. It took us roughly 45 minutes for me to figure out how we were going to start it. I'm just going to end it. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Make sure you hit all the like, subscribe, all that normal YouTube algorithm garbage. Make sure you do that just because it's necessary, not because I actually care. Leave us a review on iTunes as well. That is extremely helpful. Actually, I don't even care about the other stuff. iTunes review is definitely by far the most important thing you can do, good, bad, or otherwise, especially in these early episodes. That is going to help us out tremendously. But yeah, thanks everyone for listening, and we will hopefully hear from you very soon for episode number 1. Bye, everybody.
Bye.